It's tough to avoid political discussions these days, whether on social media, maybe chatting with your family over dinner, even on the golf course with friends. But how much influence should those discussions really have on our financial decisions? Here to discuss in this sponsored segment, we have Mike Martinez, financial author, radio show host, and president of the Pension Group with us. Good to see you, Mike.
Great to see you again, Robyn.
All right, now you've been helping people, I would like to mention this, build a more secure retirement for more than 30 years. So you've done this successfully for so many folks. So I want to ask you something that I believe you've been asked before, but do politics and finances mix, Mike?
Well, they certainly do, Robyn. I mean, obviously, with the upcoming elections that we have, a lot of people are concerned about what's going to happen. Certainly if there's changes to the capital gains, that can certainly make a tremendous impact on people, if they want to kind of de-risk or de-leverage their portfolio, be less risky. By making that change, obviously could have a tremendous impact. So certainly politics do play into how overall investments going forward could react to the markets.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is taxes. I mean, these are huge when it comes to planning. They have a huge effect on, how much money we're going to have at the end of the day when we call it quits. So how is that kind of relationship between taxes and finances?
Well, we know taxes are going to go up. We know that regardless of what happens, who gets elected here soon, regardless if it's Harris or Trump, there's the repeal of Trump's tax code in 2026. So we already know that there's going to be a 6% increase across the board when it comes to people's taxes. Now, I hope it doesn't get like when we were little, 85, 1980s, 85. We didn't really care because we were young. But a lot of our viewers out there, like my parents, we just celebrated my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. My dad turns 90 here soon. But they remember back in the early 80s when the highest income tax bracket today is 37, but back then was over 70%. So can tax rates go up? Absolutely, tax rates can go up. And there's ways to, take advantage of lower tax rates today to maybe have tax-free income in retirement.
And talk about a few of those, because I feel like there are ways to combat this. There are ways to plan for that. That's why, you seek the help of an expert, right?
Sure. Well, and I really tell people the majority of viewers out there, a typical Roth conversion is going to be probably the most important. We talk about it all the time when we're on radio, if we're doing seminars, or we're on TV, talking about Roth conversions. And, for the most people, people are going to do anywhere from $75,000 to $150,000 a year. But for some of our high net worth clients, several $1 million, we had a client last year that did $1 million conversion. The ultra wealthy know one thing: tax rates aren't going to go down; they're going to continue to go up. So if you can take advantage of some of those things, there's also ways of charitable giving to help reduce taxes. And for those ultra high net worth clients, $5 to $10, $15 million more, a Roth conversion just isn't going to cut it anymore. There's tax strategies if they own real estate, Augusta rule. We can get into some very high level planning. I've had clients where they've gotten six-figure back on their tax return. They're like, I've never seen this before, because again, we have attorneys, CPAs with masters in tax that can really help our clients navigate the tax landscape and really have tax reduction strategies. So there's a lot of things that we can help, but for the average viewer out there, certainly a Roth conversion makes sense for most.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the one thing is, as we circle back into talking about politics, so many people are uncertain when it's surrounding their finances, surrounding an election season. Why do you think that is? Can you calm maybe some nerves today, Mike?
Well, I think it's uncertainty. Who's going to be elected the next president of the United States? Certainly that's a concern. We're only a few weeks away, but there's things that you can do regardless of the administration. I mean, this economy, just like when 2020 we saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average at 20,000, now we're over 40,000. Think about that. Yeah. The market's doubled, and I tell people this: it doesn't matter who sits in your chair or my chair. This economy is going to continue to move along. But more importantly, if you think about it, what's caused the market to really increase like that? One word, and it's inflation. If we're paying more for goods and services, I know chief engineers at major automotive companies where they said, look, prices went up during COVID back in 2020. And the reality of it, a lot of these automotive manufacturers really haven't reduced their costs. So that's corporate greed. Or we go to Kroger, or we go to the grocery store, or wherever we go, we know that we're paying more for goods and services. So as a result, if we're paying more, what's happened to the stock price? Stock price is going to increase, and we're going to see an increase there.
All right. Well, all of this really just says to me, you might need somebody who knows what they're doing to look at your plan, to see what the strategy is. And you come today, too, with an offer just to really motivate people to get a plan, right?
Certainly.
Yeah.
And again, we actually have a quiz on our website at thepensiongroup.com. You know, learn the one or two big mistakes you're making when it comes to your retirement planning, but you got to take the time today to learn that and start preparing for the future, because certainly with politics, that's certainly one thing, but there's steps you can take today to put yourself on the right track when it comes to your retirement.
All right, and there is the information. If you give the retirement team at the Pension Group a call today, you can get all that help. Thank you so much, Mike.
Great, thanks, Robyn.